Hello and welcome to Health Matters again on Channels Television. Thank you for staying with us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Bird flu or avian flu is an infectious type of influenza that spreads among birds. Most strains do not affect humans, but two strains, the H5N1 and H7N9, have given cause for serious concern in recent times because a number of human infections and deaths have been recorded from them. The first human infections of H5N1 were recorded in Hong Kong in 1997. There were 18 cases. In Plateau State, Nigeria, fresh cases were reported in January 2016, and about 17 farms have been affected. But so far, no human infections have been reported. The outbreak of bird flu has implications for economy of farms, international trade, and may have implications for the health and safety of humans. My guest on the show today is Dr. Abdulaziz Anjorin. Dr. Anjorin is a virologist from the Lagos State University. He's currently conducting research in the influenza virus at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. He's a member of the Nigerian and American Societies for Microbiology and the International Society for Infectious Diseases. You're welcome to the show, Dr. Anjorin.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Now, let's start by asking, what symptoms do we look for in bird flu? What are the symptoms like in the birds?
Oh, we have several of them, including the green stool or diarrhea in the birds. Apart from that, we have the thin blood droplets from the nose of the birds.
Oh, they bleed too?
Yes, they also bleed. Even bleeding from their hair, from their forearm, all the openings in their body. Then apart from that, difficulty in breathing.
How would you know if a chicken is having difficulty breathing?
Oh, you will see them twisting their neck. In fact, the Yorubas, we call it collie. You know, the birds will be twisting their neck.
Is this one of the normal presentations of
Exactly, but sometimes it goes beyond that to the point of bleeding from different openings of the beds.
Okay. And apart from chickens, are there any other birds common to us here in this country that bird flu affects?
Yes. In fact, the natural reservoir are the ducks. We call them the waterfowl birds.
Okay,
Though,
ducks.
yes, they don't come down with the virus, but they are the natural carrier of the virus. And from the waterfowl beds, they get across to the local guinea fowls.
Okay.
Then apart from that, they have been...
Do the guinea fowls die from it?
Yes.
But ducks don't die from it?
Yes.
So
they don't die. They are the natural...
The ducks are to bird flu as rats are to Lassa fever?
Exactly.
Okay.
The Mastomys natalensis to Lassa, and the dogs, the waterfowl birds, to bird flu.
As a natural reservoir?
Yes.
Do they...
Then we also have in pigs.
Okay.
In fact, pigs are known to have the different receptors for co-hosting different types of influenza viruses, including the swine flu, the bird flu, and all other types.
How about turkeys?
Yes, it has been recorded in turkeys as well. In fact, to the point of we also have famine influenza. That is in the cats.
Oh, this
then
is
we have
getting
equine
serious.
influenza in horses.
And this is the same strain you're talking about that can be passed from animal to animal?
No, not the same, but different types. You know, we have influenza viruses generally. They have three classes. We have the type A influenza virus, the type B, and type C.
I think we're dealing with the type A.
Then
now.
the type A has two major glycosurface proteins, the hemagglutinin and the neuraminidase. The hemagglutinin has been detected to have 1 to 18 subtypes.
But correct me if I'm wrong, we are dealing with the H5N1?
Exactly.
No.
I just want to take you to the genesis of the fact that having the neuraminidase N1 to 11 and 1 to 18, we
Yes.
can have them coming
We'd love
together.
to go into
you know,
all
and
that now.
exactly.
But the one that is currently ravaging farms in Plateau State is H5N1.
H5N1, yes.
That H5N1, can it affect turkeys?
Yes, as well.
And
Yes.
pigs?
Yes, yes. In fact, the report has been said over time that we have two classical types of the avian influenza. We have the low pathogenic avian influenza, which is known as the one causing the common epidemics.
Okay.
Then we have the highly
That's the
pathogenic.
H7N9.
No, the H5N1.
Okay.
Then we also have the H7N9 as a low pathogenic avian influenza. Even we have the H5N6 and H9N2 as low pathogenic avian influenza viruses.
Okay, this current bird flu that we're now tackling in the country, is there any medicine for the birds? Can they be treated and made well at the early stage rather than them dying off or being killed?
In fact, in the advanced countries, they don't even wait for treatment. Rather, what they do is the preventive medicine.
There's a prevention?
Yes, they give them vaccines.
Okay, what's stopping us from giving a vaccine in this case?
And well, I think over time, that has been said over and over. And that we are hoping that the government in no time will work on that so that we can get to that stage of even the vaccine production in the country.
What is the handicap at this point? Is it funds or is it expertise that we are lacking?
And well,
the
I think
reason for not having this vaccine?
fund is part of it. Because at a point, our lab at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, under Professor S.A. Omilabu, we've made several efforts to isolate the virus. We've been doing detection. Even in 2012, we were able to detect influenza A in Lagos. And ordinarily, we need some equipment, including the sequencer, for sequencing the virus here in the country. And after the sequencing, we can now be talking about the nucleotides and the genome and probably vaccine production. So all that are in stages. Okay. So the government must be serious about it so that we can get to the point of the vaccine production in the country.
Meanwhile, 17 farms in Plateau State have been affected. And there is even bird flu in Abuja.
Yes, in Kuje, in Abuja.
How dangerous can this get for
even
us?
in Kano and Kaduna.
At this, as we speak?
Yes, and I learned about the case of Bayelsa. Last night, I was going through some documents.
Is it possible that it's this same strain? No, that wasn't put really well. Is it possible that it's been transferred from where it started to these other places?
Yes, it is very possible. Even apart from that, for the fact that we have the virus undergoing what we call genetic drift and shift, meaning that it may not be the same old subtype strain that has been going around, but rather it has been changed over time.
So we probably have mutated forms.
Exactly. So we need a sentinel surveillance so that we can be monitoring and getting information about the exact type of strain that is circulating at any point in time.
This bird flu was not in Nigeria before. It's a new thing that we're learning. We've heard of coccidiosis and other things, but not bird flu. Isn't it possible to stop these things from entering rather than handle them when they come?
It is very possible. And that depends on how serious a nation is. Though the federal government has been putting in its best, but we need to do beyond that. We need active surveillance. Apart from that, different centers must be created across the country. Apart from that, we should have virologists being recruited into a national program, though we have different geopolitical zones, having different laboratories for detection. But we need to go beyond that, possibly to every state in the country.
The last time there was an outbreak, there was this case of somebody who bought a bird in Ibadan,
yes,
and moved on to another state and then the thing spread in that state. When you talk of surveillance, how does it work? Because people shift these birds for sale, for trade.
Yes, I think we need to
So
go.
how do you know now that birds from affected farms in Plateau State haven't already left and are spreading around?
No, the fact is that the influenza virus has always been there. Don't forget, I talked about the duck serving as the natural reservoir. So all we need to do is to continue to monitor from time to time, so that if there has been any mutation, we will have been able to pick it before it goes into the different farm locations and being transmitted into the different individuals. So it means that the surveillance is a key factor. Another thing is health education.
Okay, as
The
far as
birds
I
are
know,
known to share the virus in their faces via the process of sneezing.
so it's airborne as well.
Yes, very airborne. So the people must be educated so that they protect themselves with the use of PPEs while working on the farms.
It seems PPEs are used for all sorts of things. Is this the same caliber of PPE that is used for Lassa fever, that is used for Ebola? Is the same caliber?
No, it depends on the class of the virus. Okay. Though the H5N1, the Lassa, and the Ebola are all in the class 4 type of viruses.
So
the
goggles,
same,
the nose caps,
exactly.
they all come into play.
Yes, when we deal with them in the lab, we use exactly the same.
And farmers have to go to their farms with this too?
No, not really that. But they should be able to use the minimum required PPEs while working on their farms.
What is the minimum required PPE?
Well, including the use of the N95 nose mask, the use of the common hand gloves. Then apart from that, washing their hands after leaving the farms, wearing apparel while on farm, and ensuring that the same apparel is not taken into the community. So all these measures must be put into place.
Does fumigation come into play like what we're seeing? This is a farm in Jos, and the birds have just been evacuated. They are spraying it. Is that what is done when there's an outbreak like this?
Yes, that is very necessary. In fact, apart from that, the different farms are expected to have minimum biosecurity measures, including putting antivirals in terms of the vacuum and the rest of them in the liquid form in front of at the point of entering their farm, so that people can put in their shoes before going in, okay, and the same thing when coming out.
All right. We'll have to put a pause on that for now. We are going on a break. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stopped. Please stay with us. We are coming back after the break, and then you can call in. And if your tweets are in, we might treat them. Stay with us.